The Musketeers, issue number 2. This is also from Zenescope. I was planning on doing a review on Musketeers 1. I believe I mentioned that like weeks ago, but I never got around to doing it. But here we go. Instead, I'll do Musketeers number 2. So as you can tell, it's basically, I don't want to say it's a modern take on the Musketeers, but it's somewhat. I mean, obviously it's inspired by the Musketeers, and there's a lot of the funny thing is, like, there's Musketeers, but there's also King Arthur mythos mixed in. Like, the Musketeers work for Merlin. I'll read a brief. First off, I just want to say this cover is awesome. It's just like I said, it reminds me of like classic '90s comics. That's basically why I love Zenescope so much, just because they remind me of like classic '90s comics. But yeah, I'll read like the brief little synopsis, or I should say the premise. A group of superpowered beings calling themselves the Musketeers has emerged in Philadelphia. While their hearts may be in the right place, their methods are questionable, blurring the line between hero and villain, especially in the eyes of the police force who would rather see them locked away for good. So basically, they were trained by Merlin in at Camelot, which is like, I guess, another dimension. And then, I mean, they're from our dimension. They were brought to another dimension. They were trained, given musketeer powers, and then brought back to our dimension. I'm not gonna read like all the narrative and dialogue and stuff, but I will read like just the introduction to some of the characters, so you can kind of get a feel of who they are. So this character right here, her name is Winter Sudam, but her, I guess, musketeer identity is Porthos, when she's in costume. And yeah, she's one of the 3 musketeers empowered by a magical book of fables. The magical book of fables, for anyone who's reading the Zenescope Grim Fairy Tales, the current arc with Tarot, this is the same book of fables. But yeah, she's an athlete extraordinaire. So basically, she's the thief of the group, and anyone who's played video games or played tabletop RPGs, she's basically the thief class. And then here are the other 2 fellow musketeers. We get Diego Garcia, aka Athos. He's a human powerhouse. Then we get Carmen Alexander, goes by Aramis. She has unmatched skills in bladed weapons. And we got this like weird love relationship kind of thing going on, where Diego and Carmen are in a relationship, but I know Winter has feelings for Carmen. I don't know if they were in a relationship in the past. I know they used to room together, and Carmen has relationships. I mean, Winter has feelings for Carmen. So I don't know, but I don't know if they were basically if they were lovers, or if they were just like, they kind of like were friends with benefits until Diego came around. I'm not like completely sure on that. Yeah, we do got like a brief moment where I guess, yeah, like in issue number 1, Diego and Carmen were going to have sex, but then Diego kind of turns her down. He says, I can't, I literally can't. And then here Diego says, I can't feel anything. So I wonder if like the powers basically killed his emotions. But yeah, basically he can't get it up. So yeah. So I'm going to read a little bit more just so you guys can catch up on what's going on, since I didn't do a review on issue number 1. We're currently tasked with acquiring something called the Chariot Artifact of Tarot for Merlin. The artifact is in the form of a gold bracelet with a chariot etched on the inside. Unfortunately, there are a lot of similar bracelets in art collections around town, and we won't recognize the right one until we're up close and personal. So they're in this museum, and she's being lowered in Mission Impossible style. Grabs the bracelet, realizes it's a fake. One of the guards arrives, starts shooting at her, but she shoots an arrow into the gun and into his hand, and then her teammates pull her out. And then they go to their next location to see if the bracelet's there, and that's the bank. And Carmen basically has these swords that can cut through anything. So she slices into the vault. They open up the box that's supposed to be containing the bracelet, but there's nothing in there. So then they hear alarms. They cut open a hole in the side of the building, come outside only to see police and SWAT have them surrounded. And we get like a pretty cool fight scene where Diego uses like a nearby car as a shield, and then as the car is like protecting them from the bullets, he grabs the two girls and he like uses his strength to throw both girls at the cops. And yeah, basically Carmen like slices through all their weapons while Winter is kicking the crap out of them. And I'm gonna cut a couple. I'm gonna skim through some pages. Basically, we get like a pretty cool action scene of them taking out the cops non-lethally because they're technically good guys. Diego grabs them and brings them to a building. So we get this helicopter, and this guy's talking to this politician who the Musketeers are kind of working for. He's upset because they're causing a scene, and that scene's going to somehow lead back to Councilman Victor Diamond as well as him, who here's the thing I find kind of funny. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like it's too on the nose. He's like, and once you're connected to Councilman Victor Diamond, someone somewhere might figure out I'm also the up-and-coming criminal mastermind Manic. So it's like, I don't know, it just seems weird. It's like, that's your secret identity and you're just saying it over the phone to some helicopter pilot. Like, even if he does work for you, I don't know, it's just weird to like reveal your identity, even if it's in private. Just that dialogue, I would touch it up a little bit. But yeah, basically he's saying like, you know, like once the Musketeers find the charred artifact, I might keep it for myself and cut our losses with Merlin and his bitch Morgan. And Morgan was spying on him in the form of a dragon. So basically we cut to Morgan and Merlin post-sex. So I guess after they're done banging, Morgan sends her consciousness into a dragon to spy on people, I guess. Or maybe they do that before sex. Maybe that's how they get their rocks off. Maybe that's foreplay to them, spying on people as dragons. Basically, Merlin is kind of a dick. He's like, you know, I need that artifact. All my plans revolve around it. The artifact will basically allow him to teleport anywhere in the world. So he tells Morgan, you know, fix the situation now. And then we cut to the Musketeers where they arrive at Winter's home. And basically Diego is like, you know, I'm heading back to our place being his and Carmen's place. Carmen's like right behind you, but right before she can leave, Winter stops her and says, I really miss. And then we get this look. And then Robin says, yeah, I miss sharing clothes and stuff too. Okay, reading this for a second time, I think basically Winter and Carmen had a relationship. I guess Carmen decided, you know, maybe it wasn't working, or she fell in love with Diego, and maybe they were just friends with benefits, and then she fell in love with Diego, so obviously she had to end her relationship with Winter, and they decided to just pretend it never happened. That's the feeling that I'm kind of getting from this. Carmen leaves, and then Morgan arrives and basically says, you know, that's what you're good at, avoiding an evasion. And basically Morgan tells Winter, like, you know, your friends are just holding you down at the moment. As Morgan's talking, Winter turns on the TV and basically says that there was a theft of a single emerald necklace from a safety deposit box. And Winter's confused because she's like, you know, we didn't steal anything because it was a wrong bracelet. There was like nothing inside the box. That will come back a little bit later in the issue. So just keep that in mind. So we have Winter breaking into a mansion. She sneaks inside. I'm going to be cutting some pages out just for copyright reasons and stuff. But she basically sneaks in, dodges a bunch of lasers. So basically she finds the item. There's like two matching bracelets, but one of them is missing. And the one that's there has an etching inside of a horse. Not a chariot, just the horse itself. And then we have Carmen and Diego are outside watching. And Winter arrives and the three of them leave. And yeah, basically with the alarms down, because Winter, you know, shut off the alarm so she can steal the bracelet, these soldiers arrive in a helicopter and they basically they kill all the dogs, which made me sad. I hate when animals get hurt or killed in stories. It always bums me out. We get like a Winter moment with their family. I'm gonna skim past that because it's not too important. And then we cut to Carmen, who's inside her bedroom on the phone. She has the diamond. Basically, the diamond that was in the item that they were looking for was in the bank. The box wasn't empty. It was Carmen basically took the item and then she lied and said that it was empty. But she has the item, and she wants to cut a deal with Mr. Diamond in private. So yeah, we got some betrayal happening here. So yeah, that was issue number 2. This is gonna be a 5-issue miniseries. That's one thing I don't like about Zenescope is that basically all their series are basically 3 to 5 issue miniseries, and it's kind of sad because it's like once the story starts getting good, it's over. I mean, at least the good thing is that some of the more popular characters keep getting new miniseries, like Van Helsing, Robin Hood, stuff like that. Keep getting the series over and over again, but I don't know. I want to see more, especially Inferno. Like Zenescope, if anyone there, like if any of you guys like happen to watch this, I doubt it, but if you guys do, please for the love of God, bring back Inferno and bring as a miniseries, not just a one-shot crossover, because I freaking love her character so much. Like I love that whole like premise of an assassin who kills herself, becomes a bounty hunter, and basically has to hunt down demons for the devil. Like that's just such a cool premise, and I want to see more. But yeah, that was Musketeers issue number 2. I've enjoyed this series. I mean, it's only 2 issues in, but yeah, I basically I like everything from Zenescope. Again, not the biggest fan of the current Grimm fairy tales, but that's because I don't really care for Tarot all that much. But I don't know, maybe I'll read it again and see. Maybe like a second read I'll appreciate it more or something. But I've been enjoying their other series. I still think Belle so far is the best ongoing Zenescope series at the moment. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully. Later.